member. I'm over at Claremont. This is my 6th year of teaching. We are so excited to work with you and your student this year.
Hi, I'm Tina Cole, and I teach at Catalea, and we're in my classroom today. This is my 22nd year to teach, and we are thrilled to have your children in our classes this year.
Hello, my name is Laurie Tidsworth. I'm the pre-K teacher at Westside, and everybody at Westside calls me Mrs. T because that's easier. I've been teaching a long time. I think this will be my 24th year, and I'm really looking forward to having your children in my class. They when they're in my class, they become one of my kids.
So whenever you pull up to the school building, we will have a staff member come out to your car, and the first thing we'll do is we'll take a temperature on their forehead, just like this. So we'll hold it up to their forehead. We won't touch. We'll click the button. We'll just make sure it reads 99.9 or below, and
this is a great opportunity for parents to develop that routine with their child. Just be very positive and encourage independence. Practice undoing their seatbelt in their car seat. And, practice, you might drive to the school and show them where they're going to be getting dropped off each day. And just try to stay positive because you're going to be the role model for your child. So they read your expressions. Parents are setting the example for your child, and they can read your expressions. So when you're positive, it helps them feel positive about coming to school. So the more you can encourage your child, the more you're going to help us. They're going to have to learn independence a little bit earlier this year, but the quicker we start, the easier it's going to be for everyone.
so after we take your temperature at the car and it reads 99.9 or below, we'll just make sure that you have your mask ready.
You need to wear your mask over your nose and over your chin. Most of them hook around the ears, and you're free to choose whatever mask suits your personality. Make it fun. Choosing a mask with your child can be something that they enjoy, and we want this to be as normal as possible. You'll have a lanyard also that it'll clip onto your mask.
And so after the child has after the student has their temperature taken and they have their mask on, we'll have a school staff member escort them all the way into the building to their classroom door to meet their teacher and start their day. Now you will see some staff members, especially pre-K in certain times of the day, take this mask off, and we will use a face shield. Being pre-K, we can be very animated, and we like to focus on our facial expressions, especially during times that we're reading a book and talking about different characters, or maybe we're doing letter sounds or talking about letters, and it's more important that they see our face and hear those sounds better and see our lips move when we're trying to help them form those sounds as well.
Okay, so when your child comes into the classroom, normally we would all go to the carpet and sit as a large group. Well, we're trying to prevent close gatherings. So what we're going to do that's a little bit different than last year is we might have half of the group on the carpet and the other half might be sitting at the tables. And that'll space out enough between the kids that they won't be able to, maybe touch each other. We're just going to practice procedures and remind them to, stay a little further away than they normally would and keep them spaced out a little bit better. Well, the majority of the pre-K teachers we have at centers or little stations with activities. So we talked about how are we going to do that this year. We're going to have sanitizing bottles at each station where the child will come and get a little squirt on their hands. They will be able to do their activity for a set amount of time, and then when they're finished, get another squirt, clean up, and then we will rotate to the next area. And that way it will prevent spreading the germs, and we clean in between, and there will be lots of time to sanitize. This is something that we do normal, so this is our everyday. We're used to this, and this is just extra. So just rest assured that we are going to have lots of sanitizing and cleaning going on. We're going to practice with those kids, washing their hands. We've done it. We do it from day one, every day anyway. So over time, they're going to get used to these little bottles, and it'll be like their everyday routine.
Well, speaking of sanitizing, we as a district are going to provide every single student with their own lanyard and their own cloth reusable mask. We just ask, we're going to keep the lanyards here and we'll sanitize them on our own. So every student will have a clean lanyard every day, or at least every other day if we can. And then their face mask that we're going to provide you guys, you'll get to take home. We'll just make sure that you guys wash it at least every other day in the washing machine and dry it. And then, of course, return with it on their face.
So as you're thinking about your child coming to school in a couple of weeks, there's a lot of things that you can do as parents to help them prepare. We've talked a bit about masks, but there's other things that are really important. Right now, you need to be making sure that your child can toilet independently, meaning they can undo their buckle snaps, whatever they've got, go to the bathroom on their own, and then get redressed. Talk to them about washing their hands. 1 squirt of soap is a rule that we have to enforce a lot because, kids love soap, so they want to play with it. But 1 squirt of soap, rub it all over, hold it under the water, maybe sing the ABC song so you get enough time. That's something you can practice on. You want to start now, if you haven't already, establishing bedtime. Sleep is so important to our little people, and we want them to come in ready to learn, make the most of our time, and we can do that if they're a well-rested child. What are some other things that we...
Just wearing the mask.
Wearing the mask, but there's just a lot in pre-K that we do to practice safety procedures anyway, and so the mask is a new part of that, but it's not the only thing. What else can we do to be getting ready?
Well, like I said earlier, practice getting them used to the idea that they're going to be starting school. Bring them to the school, show them where they're going to be going, encourage them to maybe pick out their own mask, get them excited about it, talk about superheroes and how they wear masks. Try to make it more appealing to them, to reassure them and let them know you're okay with it. Because if they see the parent happy, it's going to make them feel more secure.
Meet the Teacher will be a little bit different than it has looked in past years. It'll be set up more like, if you've been a parent in our district, it's set up like our conference schedule this year. So your school will be sending out an email very, very soon, so keep an eye on your email account, giving you instructions to go on and sign up in a app called My Conference. And what you'll do is you'll choose a time slot that fits well for you. The Meet the Teacher opportunities will take place on Monday the 24th and Tuesday the 25th, because we have a few more students than some of the teachers do. And you'll get the opportunity to come to the classroom with your student. We need all the family members to wear their mask when they come, but you'll get to see your classroom, you'll get to meet your teacher face to face. And so your child they'll get that sense of connection. My parents, my grandma knows where I'll be. She knows the teacher that I'll be with. And that's a real important connection for kids to make. The other thing you'll want to do when you come to meet the teacher is be prepared to take first day of school pictures. Since we won't be walking the children to the classroom, parents will not be, staff will take care of that this year. That'll be a great time to get some pictures while you're in your classroom. So dress them up and, prepare to have some fun that night.
And also be prepared to bring your school supplies. We like to have the school supplies on Meet the Teacher night because it gives us opportunity to put things away. Some of us have up to 40 kids potentially, and that's a lot of supplies. So if we get them that first night, we can put them away, get some things organized, because if we were to receive them on the first day of school, it's a little bit more difficult to handle. So it just makes it easier on us teachers. I don't have supplies sitting at every single table all the time. I could potentially have, I think, there's 36 students, so that would be 36 individual boxes. So because we're sanitizing after each center, and they will be working with manipulatives, touching puzzles, blocks, linking cubes, any type of object, one after another student. We're using sanitizer. We're going to do the same thing with our supplies. So at my table, when I'm working with a small group of 2, potentially 3 students that are spread out, I'll have them sanitize before and after, and that way I will rotate the next group in and grab a new set of materials, so I don't have to spend the time sanitizing the ones before, and they'll have a fresh set every time.
And then I handle it a little differently. So when you bring your supplies, if you'll put everything in bags, and put your child's name on the
Yes.
outside of the bag, then I can make sure to label the things that'll be just for their use, such as their scissors in my room. We all handle things a little bit differently,
Okay.
but if you label the bags,
Yes, just labeling the bags as a whole will help us if we don't have time to put it away immediately. That way we can set the bag aside and put it away later, mark it off for that child. Yes, they brought their supplies, and then we can move on.
Well, speaking of school supplies, this year we're asking students and parents to supply or bring their own water bottle. It can be, we prefer something small because they're only here half a day. They won't need a humongous water bottle. It'll be hard to store and they don't need that much water during the short day that they're going to be with us. So we prefer something small, preferably something that is washable that you guys can take home and wash and reuse every day. If not, it can be a little small plastic water bottle. Just keep in mind that they are little. It is hard for them to open and close. And if they keep it in their backpack, it might spill very easily. So if you have a reusable one, just make sure it's something that is sealed tight and it won't leak and ruin their backpack or anything like that. We will have refillable stations so they can always have more water to put in their water bottle. Just make sure that their bottle is labeled with their name so we know whose is whose. If you happen to forget their water bottle that day, we do have a limited amount of little Dixie cups. We can always give them water so they'll never be without, so no worries on that.
So each pre-K teacher also has a para, so there are 2 adults in the classroom at all times. And in between the AM and the PM classes, we will have plenty of time to sanitize and clean all of the surfaces where your child may sit on the carpet, chairs, tabletops. And so everything will be completely clean whenever they arrive each day.
And speaking of paraprofessionals, there are teaching assistants. You'll get to meet them the night you come to meet the teacher, so you'll have a visual effect of us. So we realize there's been a little bit of maybe confusion because pre-K is going to meet 5 days a week in the building, Monday through Friday, and we're really excited about that. The thing with pre-K instruction is it's very hands-on, and so we need them in our classrooms to teach a lot of the skills that are the basis of what they're going to build the rest of their educational career on. So we're really excited that we get to have them in class for 5 days each week. And there's a possibility that we'll have to go out for distance learning. And so tell us what that would look like.
So we have a team of teachers with well over 60 years experience, and between us, we collaborate on a regular basis. We are learning constantly, and we are in the process of developing a great plan to communicate with the parents and keep the kids on track.
Yeah.
We have your children's best interest in mind, and we, speaking of best, we actually are missing one of our pre-K teachers, Miss Best, and she teaches at RUSA, and she's part of our collaborative team, and she will be working with us to make sure that our goals are met.
Fridays will look a little different, especially for the afternoon class. The morning won't be affected. We're shifting the times up. So the afternoon for Fridays will arrive a little bit earlier than they're used to the rest of the week, and they will get out earlier. We are doing this because our district has recently started working with PLCs, professional learning communities. It gives us as a district to come together in grade levels. So for our team to come together every Friday and collaborate and create the best possible curriculum for our students.
So communicating is really important for the parents to get the right information. And so it's very important that you download the app. If you can search for Claremore Public Schools using the Google Play or the App Store with Apple, download that app and it's updated on a regular basis. Also, you can visit our school website, and that gives live updates and all kinds of information that would be very important. So you can always use those for information that if you want to find out something that's going on with your school. It's got links for each individual school, and you can find out any information that you need from there.
Each teacher has a classroom Facebook page, which I think is great for the little ones because sometimes they come home from school and you can't quite follow their line of thinking, but we have pictures that we put up quite frequently. And so that gives you a nice insight into the classroom. So each one of us will have a Facebook page, and we'll give you more information about that when you come to see us and meet the teacher. every year I tell my parents, I'm going to treat your child the way I want my child to be treated. And now I'm a grandma, so that's even revved up even more because we understand those children are the most special thing in your life. They are a precious gift, and we're going to treat them that way. And so we just want to reassure you of that. They're important to us. And once they've been in our class, they're always going to be my kid, you know. So
that's right. And our class is the first experience that they're going to have in school. So our goal is to make it the best experience that they've ever had. We want it to be fun. We want the learning experience. We want them to look forward to it and be excited about going to school every day. So we want to encourage positive things every day, and we want them to be excited. And we look forward to having a year that has just a little bit of difference from last year. It's going to be a little bit different, but not a lot. We're still going to be learning the same way. There might be a few procedures that are different, but they're still going to get to play and interact with kids and have the manipulatives and learn those skills that they need to learn. Just because they wear a mask doesn't mean they can't learn that way. So they'll have the same opportunities as they did any other year. And we're just going to actually spend more time making sure that they're getting what they need.
The classroom's going to be a safe and fun environment. We want them to leave school every day and just look at you and go, I did all of this stuff. Let me tell you about it. And we, like they said, they become our own kids. And as moms and grandparents, we know what it's like to send your kid to a place where you can't be with them. And we just want to reassure you that we will nourish them and take care of them just like you would. And we are honored that you chose Claremore Public Schools traditional setting for us to have this experience with your student, and we're going to make it a great one.
And remember, your children, they are so in tune with your thoughts, so they're going to pick up on any anxiety you may be feeling. And it's okay to let them know that everybody gets sad when their kid's big enough to go to big school. You get a little sad about that, and that's okay. But it seems like this year there's a whole lot more that parents have on their minds, and we understand that. Just whenever possible, keep your attitude about school and the procedures that we'll do there. Keep it positive, because your kids they'll read you whether you're saying it out loud or not. So just try to keep those positive thoughts on top of your mind.
This is going to be a great year. Welcome to the Claremore Zebra family, and it's always a great day to be a zebra.